Hey everyone, this is Geeky Panda here, back guys with another one of my videos, and this time I'm going to be returning with more top tips for PAX East 2022. Now, my earlier video was more for the attendees at PAX East. Now, this one is going to be more for the media and content creators at PAX East. Uber congrats on achieving a media or content creator badge. Now, this badge, does hold some responsibility to it, but also this badge will help you do what you need to get done during the convention event, whether it be, conducting interviews, recording footage, taking pictures, so on and so forth. So remember, responsibility. Be professional, but be laid back. It's a weekend. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get hectic. So relax. Just relax. Take a breather. Now, first and foremost, the pre-stuff that you got to do. Like what you need to get, what you need to gather, so on and so forth. Depending on what you're doing, whether it be recording video on your DSLR or your video camera, audio recording, taking pictures, so on and so forth, make sure you have what you need. So one of the things I like to do is make a list and make sure you check it off with every item on there. For instance, first and foremost, bring spare batteries. I'm not going to lie, you need to bring spare batteries because you're thinking to yourself like, I did this one year too. Like my battery in the DSLR and 2 extra batteries, that should be fine for the whole convention, right? No. If you're taking pictures, maybe. If you're doing a lot of video recording, the more batteries you have, the better. So I have, including the one in my camera, 5 batteries. But I now am probably going to be ordering at least 2 more before this year's convention. So bring spare batteries and bring more batteries, but don't forget to bring your chargers. Bring another charger just in case. Also, and bring multiple SD cards or micro SD cards. You don't want to solely rely on the one SD card because what happens if it breaks? God forbid if it breaks, if it gets corrupted and you lost all that footage, or you can't record anymore. Well, hey, I got another SD card here. So like right now I got a 128 gigabyte SD card in my DSLR, but I got a 64 gigabyte backup just in case. Even though this is the basics, bring your cleaning kit for your camera, whatever. Just bring a cleaning kit. This convention is big, it's crowded. You're gonna get bumped into sometimes. You might get some smudges on your lens. It's just be on the safe side, just bring your cleaning kit. Make sure you have business cards at the ready, You're a media and content creator. Business card should be basically the standard of what you should have on you because when, it's going to have all your information on it. So make sure all your information is up to date with all your necessary social media stuff on there and have a business email as well. One of the cool things that I found out from watching other videos basically about being a content creator is have the back of your card be white and writable. So if you need to make notes and stuff like that, or someone makes notes on your card, they can easily remember you more. Like be like, oh hey, I remember talking to this person because I made a note of what we were talking about right there. So also when you exchange business cards, follow up with them. Now you're going to think to yourself, okay, how many business cards should I have? 100 should do, right? Let's increase that. 100's nice, but 250 to 500 business cards should do. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna go through a lot of business cards during the convention, and you're going to receive a lot of business cards, so get ready. If you're recording footage or taking pictures, it's always good to bring a laptop with you for your hotel room or when you bring it to the media room to make sure to check over the footage and the pictures. Don't forget to bring your charger for the laptop like I did one year. Kind of sucks, but hey, it happens. But it's always good to check over your footage, make sure everything looks good on your end, and keep on recording after, or taking pictures after, or start even editing some of the footage so when you get home, you can keep on editing. Another thing to consider is bringing in an external hard drive. On top of having a laptop, this is how I usually do it. Everything I record on my SD card, I keep it on there as like the original, and then I copy everything to my laptop, but I also copy everything to an external hard drive. So if I were to, God forbid, lose the SD card, or my laptop breaks, there's always something going to be there to take its place as a backup. So a few things to note when you're stuff like this: 1 terabyte at the minimum, unless the 1 terabyte is getting full, then just kind of up it. A few other things to note. Wear comfortable shoes. Again, you're going to be on your feet all day. Wear comfortable shoes. It's going to help out a lot. And make sure you also have, especially when you're doing video recording, when it comes to conducting interviews, get a directional microphone. There's going to be a lot of loud noises at the event, and with the directional microphone, whatever you point that microphone at, it's going to capture that footage a lot more clear and better, and they tend to ignore everything around it. Just like what you have in front of you, the subject you have in front of you, it's going to try to record that. It's going to record that audio more so than anything else. saved me a lot of headache. Let's just say that when trying to do interviews on the floor, and I didn't have a directional mic or a microphone that I could just give them, that I can just speak into. I'd also recommend, if you are recording video, have an LED light box with spare batteries, and also if you're doing pictures, a flash. You're going to be talking to a lot of different people there at the convention, whether it be the developers, other content creators, and media. When you introduce yourself, quick, easy, straight to the point, or quick, straight to the point, simple, or whatever. Just remember those three things. Don't talk like a paragraph long of, oh, I'm this person doing this is like, no. Hey, it's like, hi, I'm the Geeky Panda. I'm a content creator for both YouTube and Twitch. Here's my business card. How you doing today? Quick, easy, simple. It's believe me, with some of the developers being there, content creators, there's other people that want to speak to them. So time is of the essence. Since you've gotten a content creator badge for PAX East, you're going to be getting a lot of emails from indie developers, hardware manufacturers, so on and so forth. Especially when it gets closer and closer to PAX East, you're going to start receiving a lot of them. They're going to be basically, essentially, they're going to give you a heads up like, hey, we're this game developer making this game here at this booth, and we love for you to come check out our game. Like, the indie developers are awesome. They got a lot of passion behind them, but check through, feel free to check through these emails, see what interests you, see what you want to do and cover, and you can just respond to the email right there, like, hey, let's schedule an interview, let's talk, So, don't ignore your emails, what I'm basically saying. Another thing to note is, this content creator badge right here, this is your badge. It is in your name, so no one else should have it. So if anything happens and they'll be like, wait a minute, why do you have a content creator badge? And they try to look up the name like, wait a minute, you're not that person. Your responsibility. Just remember that. When you're at PAX East, I went back to the hotel room around like 5 o'clock. My friends came back as well, and they were excited. They still want to go back to the convention center, but one of my friends, he lost his badge somewhere in the room. I don't know why. And he was like, "Oh, hey, you're not going back to the convention center, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm just gonna relax and order some food." He asked me if he could borrow my content creator pass. I'm like, no, because if you get in trouble or anything like that, it's gonna be on me. So your pass, keep it safe, keep it close to you. And now it's time for the meat and potatoes when you're at the convention center itself. So first off, on Thursday morning, right when everyone's queuing up to get into the convention hall, the media and content creators get a special little perk. Now that is basically a 1 hour golden hour, it's a 1 hour golden hour window of us able to get on the floor first before all the other attendees get on there. And this is really great because it just gives us a chance to go directly to where we want to go to check out a game, talk to developers, so on and so forth. Because when the convention goes live and the convention hall is going to get packed, slammed, all like the AAA developer area, there's going to be lines. Note the plural form, lines. So what I generally do is for my 1 hour, I usually go to the AAA side and start checking everything I can out there first. So whether but I have to remember I only got 1 hour, so I'm just like, let me check out this demo, let me check out that demo, let me check all these things out here real quick, because when the attendees come on the floor, it's going to get progressively harder to check things out because you're going to be waiting in line with the rest of them. So 1 hour you got. It always happens on the first day, which beforehand it happened on the Friday when it used to be a 3-day convention, but now since it's 4 days, it's going to happen on a Thursday. Now, when you're at the convention center itself, we do have a media room, and the media room is life, and it is such a blessing. The media room is specifically only for media and content creators. As long as you have your badge, you're allowed in there. You cannot bring anyone else in there. So let's say if you got your friends there with you and they got only attendee badges, they can't be in the room. It's only for us. It's literally only for us. So don't be offended for your friends or whatever. Those are the rules. A few things to note in the media room. There are these caged lockers in there, both small ones so you can easily fit a backpack to big ones you can fit a lot of equipment in there. General rule of thumb, if you're running solo, get the small cage. Don't be a dick and get the big cage all to yourself. Because you have to understand there's a lot of different teams and media groups going to this convention center, including IGN. They're going to need those big cages to house their really, really expensive, camera equipment, video equipment, microphones, all that dandy stuff. Just if you don't need it, get the smaller cage. And how it works is essentially you have your business card, You give it to the media personnel within the room. That you will then get a lock and a key, and that's basically your lock and key for the day. It's not. It's not for the whole weekend. They do it daily. So before the room closes, you go back, return it, clear anything out you have in the cage, come back the next day, and rinse and repeat. Now they do have. Now, if you do have any questions in the media room, there is the whiteboard, which is basically an FAQ board. Any questions you have, that whiteboard, 9 times out of 10 is going to answer your question right there. And you have any other questions, the PAX media personnel will be happy to assist. With that, there is free Wi-Fi. Well, there is Wi-Fi for us. The private Wi-Fi is for us media, but generally the BCEC, regular public Wi-Fi is a bit better, more reliable. But on Saturdays, yeah, it's gonna go right out the window. There's gonna be so many people connected to it. Everyone's gonna feel it. Now in the room, there is gonna be a bubbler there, so if you need to hydrate, one of the best places to do that. And yes, you can eat in the room, but here are a few things to remember. 1, don't make a mess. 2, please clean up after yourself. This isn't your room. This isn't your house. This is a convention center that the PAX group is renting out. So please, clean up after yourself, whether it be throwing away your paper cups of water, your napkins, or food, or whatever. There is a garbage bin in there that you can just throw your garbage or your stuff into, so there should be no reason for you just to leave it out and just, be an asshole for a person just trying to see if they can get like a nice clean seat and table to work in, or just chill and relax, Also in the room, there are outlets and, Also in the room, there are outlets in there, so when you bring your power strip, which I forgot to mention, bring a power strip. It is really important to bring a power strip, especially for your hotel room, because you can plug it in and have everything plugged in there to charge overnight. But when you go in the meter room, there are outlets in there, and if you bring a power strip, you're gonna make best friends with everyone, because we all got a lot of stuff to charge sometimes, whether it be our cell phones, our batteries for our cameras, and whatever. You're gonna be best of friends with people in there. Now, when you get in there, you're gonna see a lot of different media personnel of gaming journalist groups, content creators, so on and so forth. Just remember, be professional, but we're all laid back. This room is meant for us to, just take a breather, take a break, collect ourselves, get ready for the next, interview that we have, the next game that we're going to be checking out. Just relax. You don't need to be stressed out or stuff like that. As long as you're not an asshole, basically just being obnoxious to high hell, just relax. Just take it easy, take a breather. Just again, you're going to see a lot of different people in there, and some of them you might recognize, and some of them you're going to be, having a little fanboy, fangirl, or fan whatever moment. Just don't. And again, please clean up after yourself in the room. The PAX media staff will thank you. Now, if you do want to conduct interviews in there, if you got some interviews lined up, there is actually a private space reserved for us media and content creators that we can use. All you got to do is ask the PAX media staff that's in the media room to reserve it. Now, this is a first come, first served basis. So if you got, let's say a major developer interview lined up, hey, the room is there. You just got to go up there and ask and see if you're the first one to use it. Now, on the subject of interviews and scheduling with developers or indie devs or whatever, the best rule of thumb is do not try to schedule it all at once. Like, let's say, oh, I'm done with this. Oh, now I got another interview to do this. Because the thing about making a plan is it doesn't survive first contact, because something could happen. Let's say you schedule a interview with a developer. Well, their interview beforehand lasted longer than it was supposed to for one reason or another. So now your interview got pushed back a little bit, so on and so forth. So what I like to do when I do schedule, interviews and all that stuff, is when I schedule it, I leave a lot of breathing space for it. Because at first I was scheduling everything, and I ended up overburdening myself, because I was like, oh God, I got another interview I got to do and all this thing and stuff. No, just space it out. You don't have to do every interview under the sun. For me, give it a 45-minute to 1 hour breather, basically, of downtime before the next one. That should be enough time. It should be perfect. Now, if you do need to reschedule or something happens, again, this is a convention. A lot of things can happen. Just give them a heads up, contact them, and just say, whether it be, if you send them an email or just go stop by the booth, hey, our scheduled time, something came up, and sadly I can't do it. Can we reschedule for today or for the rest of sometime during the weekend when we're here? They're totally understandable, and they'll thank you for giving me a heads up, because if you schedule an interview and you don't even show up or nothing nothing happens, like, oh, hey, we took our time to schedule this and they didn't even show up. The convention hall itself, the main convention hall, where a lot of the action is, depending on time of day, there's going to be a lot of low light scenarios that you're going to have to deal with if you're going to be recording video or taking pictures. So again, that's why I said bring a flash if you're a photographer, and bring an LED light box if you're a videographer or recording video, and modify your settings. Modify your settings. Modify your settings on the go when needed. There we go. I'm just trying to I want to say the word, like I have it in my mind. It's just not coming out. The side areas, the side walkways where the panel rooms are usually at, they're just glass windows, so you're gonna get a lot of natural light in there. So you don't really need it unless it's a really rainy day, then you might need it. But yeah, in the convention hall itself, I do recommend like an LED light box or a flash if you're doing it, whether it be video or pictures. Remember, use your business cards. You got a lot of business cards, so use them. It's basically the first, it's basically the first thing you do. Like, hey, here's my business card, and you receive their business card. Also, don't forget to, do a follow-up with them. Send them an email, just see where it goes, basically. You're like, don't ignore those business cards. Those things can be very important. You don't know what door it might open up next. During PAX East, the halls are going to get pretty busy. The alleyways between booths are going to get really packed as well. So when you're doing, say, interviews or recording videos of the convention center itself or taking pictures, situational awareness at all times is just there. I can't tell you how many times someone bumped into me or something like that, or I accidentally bumped into someone because I failed, to know my, to be aware of my surroundings. So when you're on there on the floor, just remember, hey, I'm in an active, essentially highway, basically. Watch out, because the last thing you need is to bump into someone by accident, say you're sorry, or someone bumps into you or you bump into them, and then, oh, hey, my camera got smudged or it might be damaged now. So just be aware of your surroundings. I just want to say, I hope, as a content creator like myself, I wish you all the best of luck at this year's PAX East. Hopefully you get the content you want. Hopefully you have a great and enjoyable experience as well. And if you see me in the PAX meeting room, say hi to me. Like, we're all there to chill and hang out. Again, I'm very excited to see familiar faces in the room, and I'm also excited to meet new ones there as well. Above all else, that's going to be it for today. Post down in the comment box if you have any other tips for media or content creators in this video. Don't forget, if you like this video, hit that subscribe and like button. I do stream weekly on Twitch, and if you do want to help support my channel, I do have a Patreon. Above all else, keep being awesome out there. Stay safe. This is Geeky Panda here. I'm out. Stay geeky, my friends.